Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonates with the Earth's electromagnetic field and strengthen up your aura like Goku. Balance out psychologically and emotionally and strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence. Get yourself a plant-based diet going for yourself today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in nature. Balance out your physical body's pH level and get with alkalinity, then generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically, set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to Great Days. Now today I got the monthly astrological read for everybody who is trying to get in synchronicity with the cosmos, and for everybody who wants a clarification on all of the different ingresses and transits and events and exactly what we are going to see as a collective and also as individuals as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Today's video is June 2021 astrology. Now, let's get right into it. Like I said, let's not waste any time. On June 2nd, Venus is in Cancer, okay? And Venus is a very feminine sign, so this is going to have us very emotional and magnetized in nature. And when it enters into Cancer, Cancer is a very water sign and also feminine, so this is double feminine in nature, and it is also very, very emotional in our sense of relationship towards one another and bringing in balance for each and every one of us, very simply. But it is also meeting a trine with Jupiter, which is a very potent positive trine, okay? So it should basically bring in that positive feminine energy and that expansive nature and growth within our relationships and our basic emotional states towards one another, okay? A very beneficial upsurge of interaction, communication, and social connection, bringing unity and harmony, very smooth, cohesive states of expansion and good news, setting a great theatricality and emotional sweetness, which could actually leave you over vulnerable to unwilling experience. So, like I said, it is going to be a great start of the month for everybody. It is going to basically have us interacting with new people and even meeting people who will help us spiritually, okay, or even just people who will teach us things that we need to learn during this time in order to help us further in our lives. But with that over sweetness of emotion, there could also be imbalanced states of being too invulnerable or over vulnerable to these unwilling situations that can spring up during such a emotional period of sweetness, okay? Then after Venus in Cancer, Mars is going to oppose Pluto, which is very, very nuclear. So think like a nuclear bomb in a way. It is going to cause a lot of destruction globally, okay? Okay, the mainstream media is probably going to be very, very imbalanced, or maybe even in a panic state due to new things that are coming that are being kept in the dark right now. Okay, that is all about Pluto. Pluto is like the unconscious, but also brings about great generational change and transformation globally. Okay, so when Pluto is in Mars, it is actually bringing a very nuclear state. Like I said, think like a bomb or a nuclear bomb, but it is going to basically bring in emotional breakthroughs when the natural unconscious starts to come up. Okay, like I said, Pluto is all about the unconscious and bringing about change and transformation globally through pains and troubles. There are going to be pains and troubles coming from those darker depths, or the tabooistic, or the public scandalous situations are being just uplifted or even unveiled for everybody to see. Like I said, it's all because Pluto is basically bringing in that unconscious that needs to be known by the globe, and that actually is bringing in a great change and transformation to us. Okay, and with Mars, it is very, very conflicting and filled with tension and even high dynamicism. Okay, so what is this actually going to do for us? It is just going to clean what needs to be seen. Like I said, there's a lot of unconscious depths that are very, very unknown about, and Mars and Pluto is actually going to bring us to these unconscious depths in order to clean up globally and collectively what needs to be seen. Okay, and this is actually going to help us break through that thick veil of unconscious disasters. All right, so it's a great start of the month. Like I said, very emotional and very emotionally sweet and highly magnetic of spiritual growth. And then right after, there's a Mars opposing Pluto, which actually brings the entire globe to dynamically coming into seeing all of the unconscious depths of what is going to be brought to humanity. Okay, and I'm going to get further into what is unconscious and what is actually going to be brought into the light. Okay, with the, I believe it is the on June 10th. Okay, we got a solar eclipse in Gemini. That is the next astrological ingress or event, and this connects perfectly with Mars opposing Pluto. It is actually coming right from that Mars opposing Pluto. Like I said, that unconscious depth is dynamically and creatively and highly conflicting in nature as well, is being brought to the conscious for everybody to see, so change and transformation can take place. Okay, and there's a solar eclipse right after the Mars opposing Pluto, which is on June 10th, and the solar eclipse in Gemini is also with a Mercury cazimi, which Gemini is also being ruled by Mercury. So Mercury cazimi, if you do not know, is a special positioning of Mercury, which is having it at the heart of the sun. So basically, Gemini is actually going to be very, very, very highly amplified, and Mercury is going to be very, very highly masculine and amplified as well. Okay, so with the solar eclipse, with the Mercury cazimi, this is going to bring in cohesive communication, focused, balanced connection to the Great Reset. And if you have not seen the Great Reset, Okay, the Mars opposing Pluto is actually going to connect to some of Davos's agenda, or the Great Reset, which is actually putting into place the sun dimming technology, or ScopeX experimentation. And if you have not seen that video, check it out. Also in the top right corner, it's where Harvard and Bill Gates are getting together to basically put a sun dimming technology in using calcium carbonate. Okay, and this is what has been unconscious, and it is going to be basically made conscious with the Mars opposing Pluto, and then it's further going to be upsurged and cohesively brought into fluent unfolding with the solar eclipse in Gemini and the Mercury Cazimi. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of global panic because of this, because it is actually the shadow government putting into place a simulational type of technological grid or controlling of the human race and the sun. Basically, it's the shadow government putting into place the higher strengthening simulations of humanity. Okay, so they are literally trying to technologically entrap us in a simulation, but we are already in a holographic simulation. If you have not seen the holographic universe, check that out for yourself as well. It scientifically proves that we are holographic projections. And now with the ScopeX experimentation and the sun dimming technology, it is actually just further strengthening that simulation that the shadow government controls all of humanity in. Okay, and this is what the solar eclipse is basically going to bring to a cohesive unfoldment of. Alright, with the heightened connection the heightened connection and communication and technological utilization of Mercury and both solar eclipse and Gemini. Okay, so there's, like I said, new transformation. The Great Reset is basically unfolding with that, and the transactional innovation. Like I said, there is going to be global transformation with this ScopeX experimentation or sun dimming technology, because it actually amplifies and strengthens the simulation that they already have in place globally, and this is going to be used for basically transactional innovations globally. Okay, new technologies and experimentations are also going to be very strengthened, like I said. So the next one is June 11th, Mars shifts into Leo. Okay, so Mars is no longer opposing Pluto, so there's probably not as much conflict and panic and fight around that unconscious depth of the shadow government's plots or schemes. But now that Mars shifts into Leo, this is actually beholding the more wise, aged energies of Mars. Okay, and there's going to be lessons that are learned from the last 3 months or the last months, and there is also going to be stable and more noble energies that come forward with this Mars in Leo. Okay, then on June 14th, Saturn is squaring Uranus, which actually is bringing us to conservative kickback. When getting into motion, infuriation can come up, but be patient. Okay, so there is going to be a great obstacle for everybody with the Saturn squaring Uranus. Okay, conservative kickback, and there is going to be a great obstacle for each and every one of us during this time. We just do not know it yet, and we will not know it yet until the time is ripe and everything astrologically and universally and cosmologically unfolds. Okay, but the best thing to do during this Saturn squaring Uranus is to be patient, because infuriation is prone to happen. Okay, because of that obstacle or that limitation. It's all just discipline for your spiritual growth. Okay, and like like I said, that obstacle can manifest in any way, shape, or form for you individually. And like I said, also the best thing to do is just stay patient. Treat it as something that needs to happen, because it is going to happen. That is Saturn and Uranus. It is going to happen, and what you need to do is know that it is all part of your maturity and your growth and your discipline. Okay, so that's on June 14th. We'll have breakthroughs during this time as well, like I said, from understanding what that obstacle is and exactly why that obstacle is there. Okay, timeless, ongoing pushing and pulling throughout the year from Uranus, or Saturn and Uranus, Saturn squaring Uranus, because Saturn actually squares Uranus 3 times during the year, and it actually connects each and every time. So each and every time it squares Uranus, Saturn, what it brings to us actually connects throughout the entire year, and it will always bring us great discipline, more in the deeper depths of our life. Okay, on June 20th, summer solstice is taking place, and this basically brings an energetic shifting point in the language of the zodiac, bringing in high dynamicism with Gemini, mental electrical upsurges, and also Cancerous, very watery, very intuitional, very emotional, very magnetic energies and fluctuations. That's a great time to start things and very stably be supported and basically momentum, or brought into a momentum along the same direction of where you're trying to expand or get done, or whatever it is you need to do or get done. Then June 23rd, Jupiter goes into retrograde along with Mercury and Saturn, or Mercury actually just finished retrograde during that time, but along with Saturn. So now Jupiter and Saturn are both in retrograde, bringing in Aquarius energies because it's shifting backwards. It's that backwards motion. Like I said, it's in Pisces right now. If you haven't seen that video, Jupiter in Pisces, check it out for me. Basically, Jupiter is in Pisces right now, but when it goes into retrograde on the 23rd, it is actually stepping back into Aquarius a little bit. So we are stepping back into what Aquarius had to offer when Jupiter was mainly in Aquarius, and this actually brings us to more of expansive natures in humanitarianism, and it is also bringing in more technological advancement. Like I said, this is connecting with the basic Skynet, or the shadow government's technological simulative expansion. Okay, it's stepping back into Aquarius, and it needs to, it is basically upsurging what was left unseen or hidden or untalked about when Jupiter was officially in Aquarius. Okay, and this actually is also having us very mental in nature, and very electrical. Like I said, Jupiter is very electrical in nature, and so is Aquarius, both very electrical. We will be pulling a lot from the universe during this time, so it is a great time for pulling in information that you need in order to basically stabilize your life furthermore. Okay, then on June 23rd through June 24th, Venus is opposing Pluto now. So Mars opposed Pluto at the beginning of the month, and now Venus is opposing Pluto on the 23rd and the 24th, and this is very complementary to the Mars opposition to Pluto. Okay, so with the Mars opposition in Pluto, we're going to see a lot of that unconsciousness be lifted, and that veil of unconsciousness being pierced with a highly dynamic, conflicting, focused, composed, also going to oppose Pluto for her take on what the Mars and Pluto opposition actually brought to us. So very complementary. Like I said, Venus opposing Pluto in the same place as Mars opposition to Pluto, bringing in a balancing femininity to accompany the previous opposition, bringing healing over excessive dynamicism from Mars, and Venus coming to a helping energy. Like I said, Venus is here to balance out that Mars opposition and maybe bring down all of that conflict and all of that fiery dynamicism and creative energy with a more mindful, emotional, balancing state of how we got to treat one another globally. And maybe it is even going to have us thinking or being more mindful of how we treat women around us or even children. Okay, so like I said, a very, very, very great complementary event for Pluto and Venus and Mars. With Pluto's greater changes and transformation, dealing with family, women, children, etc. Like I said, it's also going to bring even more transformation around our family and around more of the vulnerable beings in our life, okay? And it is also going to coincide with the technological expansion that Scopex or the shadow government is putting into place as well, okay? It's all astrologically connected and in synchronization. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, this month is going to have everybody very, very expansive at the start with a basic emotional sweetness and spiritual enlightenment very minutely. And then it is also going to basically bring in that shadow government agenda or that Davos or Great Reset, and that technological simulation is going to strengthen globally with the sun dimming experiment underway during this time, which is actually the unconscious coming to light with the Mars opposing Pluto. And then with the solar eclipse, this actually just helps the shadow government connect and cohesively communicate properly and technologically in order to get what they are trying to do done, which is the Scopex experimentation, which I will do a further video on. And it just further goes on from there with spiritual expansion and more balance. So I thank you guys for watching. Subscribe over here to the right of me for more astrology. Drop a like on this video to the left or right of me. Sorry, I got those mixed up. Drop a like on this video to the right of me and subscribe to the left of me. Okay? Generate some static electricity from your ethereal body. It needs to be strengthened and realized for our spiritual expansions. I love you guys. I hope I got you in synchronization with the cosmos. Peace out. Have a great day and enjoy your afternoon.